Today we're looking at the worst multicolored Magic the Gathering creatures in the game. We're going to start off with Random Mage's suggestion of Sphinx of the Guild Pact. This is a 7-mana 5/5 Sphinx. Now, Sphinx of the Guild Pact is all colors. I don't know. I guess I'll virtually count this. It's sort of got the gold border for some reason. Flying hexproof from monocolor. So it's got hexproof from monocolor, but it doesn't actually have protection from that color. You just can't target it. You can still it still can get blown up. You can't attack through it. You're certainly not gonna have protection if you block against monocolor. So it's like it almost like it doesn't even have hexproof at all. Hexproof from very, very few sources. It's funny. It doesn't have hexproof from what's it called? Anyway, it's just not gonna have any hexproof from any instants and sorceries. Okay, I will continue the show with Jasmine Boreal. This is a 5-mana 4/5 that doesn't do anything else. And with my slight research, it looks like they gave Jasmine Boreal actually a second chance, and they made her a creature that actually had some text on it. Otherwise, she was doing nothing. She was doing nothing. Since oh, this is a Legends card. Yeah, that's what back then they made Legends, just gold border and nothing. Next up, we got John with the Warping Worm. Warping Worm is a 4-mana 1/1 with the phasing creature. During your upkeep, you have to pay 4 mana or Warping Worm phases out. When Warping Worm phases in, put a +1/+1 counter on it. But that's gonna take forever. Okay, so you play this card, it phases out. Sorry, no. It's in play, it does nothing. You pass your turn, next turn it phases out, you got nothing. And then during your upkeep, pay 4 mana, or so we pay 4 mana, it phases out. And then we gotta wait next turn, it comes back and it's a 2/2. We've already sunk 8 mana into this card, wasted 2 turns, and we have an entire 2/2 creature, and it only gets worse from there. Next up, we got Turiat with Rakdos the Defiler. Defiling a bathroom, perhaps. This is a 6-mana 7/6 demon with flying and trample. Whenever Rakdos the Defiler attacks, sacrifice half the non-demon permanents you control rounded up. Why are we sacking our permanents? It's better have like a really big... It better just say win the game. Whenever Rakdos Defiler deals combat damage to a player, that player sacrifices half non-demons. Non-demon perms they control rounded up. The problem is they may not even have that many creatures. It all completely depends on who you are attacking. Not to mention they have this giant incentive to block the crap out of this thing if they can. Especially, well, only if they have got flying creatures. Next up, we've got Hexenor with, what is it, Vigian Hydropon. It seems like there's a lot of bad Simic cards out there. It's a 3-mana 0/0 plant mutant with Graft 5. The creature comes into play with 5 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever another creature comes into play, you may move a +1/+1 counter from this creature onto it. Okay. And it's like any creature. So if my opponent's creature comes into play, I can move counters over there? Vigian Hydropon can't attack or block. This card is useless. It's basically a crappy Hardened Scales of some sort. Like where if you put a creature in play, you can put a +1/+1 counter on it. But it's limited. It's limited up to 5, depending on how many +1/+1 counters are on this creature. Oh, this is terrible. But next up, we got Little MX Doom with Wandering Mage. Thank you very much for your super chat, Little MX Doom. We got Wandering Mage as a 3-mana 0/3 Human Cleric Wizard. We've had this thing on the show before. For a white, pay 1 life, prevent the next 2 damage that would be dealt to target creature this turn. For a blue, prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to target cleric or wizard creature this turn. That includes this. That is weird too, because that is not really a blue ability. It's more of a white ability. And for a black, put a -1/-1 counter on a creature you control. Prevent the next 2 damage that would be dealt to target player this turn. I think Boulder would really like this card. Boulder, huge fan of the clerics. And this is a cleric that protects other clerics. This Wandering Mage is a cleric protector. A lot of mana, though. Islarf is serious, Progenitus. You know what? I don't blame you. Progenitus once was one of the I don't know, the big baddies of the game, super popular. I think it's junk. It was junk even 16 years ago when I got this as a GP promo. It's double Wooburg for a 10/10 protection from everything. That sounds special until you realize it still dies to board wipes. It still dies to board wipes. Still dies to being sacrificed. Can be countered. Hard to get in play in the first place. So anyway, a 10/10 protection from everything is not what it is. It has no ETB. It's not what it's chalked up to be. It's just a big chunky 10/10 creature. You put all this work to get a 10/10 in play, and then they wipe the board or Cyclonic Rift the damn thing. Can't reanimate. You can. Oh yeah, you can't even reanimate this card. Well, there are very few cards that can reanimate it. You can reanimate it with Goryo's Vengeance, but that would probably defeat the purpose of playing Progenitus in the first place. Because if Progenitus would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, reveal Progenitus and shuffle it into its owner's library instead. So there are some cards like Goryo's Vengeance that would put it back onto the battlefield, but Goryo's Vengeance is good because it's an instant speed reanimator, but it makes you sacrifice the creature at end of turn. So Goryo's Vengeance is only going to work if you got like some really good ETB, or some people like to reanimate Grizzlebrand and draw a bunch of cards. It doesn't work with Progenitus. I mean, the opponent will be like, okay, I take 10, I don't care. You lose the Progenitus and it's gone. Next we've got dies to does not die to Blasphemous Act because that is damage. Dies to Toxic Deluge for 10 though. Does die to Toxic Deluge. We got Archangel New with Ember Wild Caliph. What is this? Ember Wild Caliph. This is a 4-mana 4/4 flying and trample. Oh my god, that is so strong. This last ability must be super bad. If Ember Wild Caliph attacks each turn, it attacks each turn if able. That's pretty good. It's not that bad. What are we playing these creatures for? We're playing them to attack. For each 1 damage, Ember Wild Caliph successfully deals lose 1 life. Ah, I see. That is the downside, unfortunately. It's going to kill us too. But here's the plus side. It is a triggered ability. Or I say, yeah, when this creature, it's they reworded it to say whenever this creature deals damage, you lose that much life. And so in the event that we deal damage, we have to make sure we kill our opponent when we kill them, because otherwise it will continuously deal damage to us. How is this win more? It's a win equal. Super win equal. It dies in your hand with the double. Oh, you're talking about the Progenitus. Ember Wild Caliph, interesting card. Very, very interesting card. Get some life gain on this thing. Lil MX Doom with another super chat. Thank you so much. With the ever-changing Dane, no idea what you do with them. Ever-changing Dane is a 3-mana 3/3 shapeshifter, and for 1, sacrifice another creature. The ever-changing Dane becomes a copy of the sacrificed creature, except it has this ability. Oh, I get, like, okay, so at first I'm like, what the hell? Like, just keep the creature there. Like, you had the creature. What does it need to be a copy of that thing for? There is one circumstance where maybe you'd want this, and I'll tell you where. When you steal other people's creatures. Now, it doesn't even work with the red cards, because if you play this as your commander, you don't have access to red. But there's so many cards out there that'll, like, steal this, gain control of this creature until end of turn. You have to give it back. But now we could steal the creature, sack it to the ever-changing Dane, and so now we still get to keep the creature, but we don't have to give the creature back. Yeah, we have to take control of our opponent's cards. Control your opponent's creatures and then sack them. That's true. But the problem is a lot of those cards are red. Like, a lot of the cards are red. Maybe there's some in black. It is a permanent. It is a permanent. At least that is true. It is a permanent. Well, all these cards have to be permanents today. Michael Ing throwing super shade at Psychotog. Well, okay, but it's also really funny. Okay, so big shade being thrown at Psychotog right now. You realize this like made an entire standard deck, maybe even an extended deck. I don't remember. And it like even as of today, it is a strong tier deck in pre-modern. The 3-mana 1/2 Atog. Discard a card from your hand. Psychotog gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Remove 2 cards in your graveyard from the game. Psychotog gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So if you look at like the Atogs like as of today, its power level, outside of like the power level of pre-modern history, this card is bad. Like it's really bad. It's mostly going to be like a 3-mana 1/2 that eats up your graveyard for very little effect because it's only until end of turn. You really need your opponent to be completely disabled. Like they're tapped out, they got nothing in their hand, and then you can go for the kill. And then if like don't even get me started on like a 40 life player game. But so like by today's standard, this card is absolute garbage. But in the locked format that is pre-modern, is still a very strong card. But okay, I understand like if you're going to interpret it based on today's power level, this card is above and beyond pushed out of the game. In fact, I think it was above and beyond pushed out of the game like, I don't know, a few years after it rotated from standard. Can I get a Psychic Frog? Yeah, so Psychic Frog was sort of the virtual power upgrade to Psychotog, which now sees a lot of play. In fact, got banned in a format. Okay, next up we got Corbinek with Call of the Nightwing. Telling you, some Psychotog players, they're gonna feel very insulted by that. Call of the Nightwing is a 4-mana sorcery. It's a creature show. We got Kelduins with Primeval Spawn. Primeval Spawn is a Wooburg and 5 generic for a 10/10. Okay, so not nearly as similarly, but not exactly as expensive as a Progenitus. If Primeval Spawn would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast or no mana was spent to cast it, exile it instead. All right, no cheating this card. At least you could cheat it and play with Progenitus. You could at least show and tell that thing in play. Vigilance, Trample, and Lifelink. When Primeval Spawn leaves the battlefield, exile the top 10 cards of your library. You may cast any number of spells with total mana value 10 or less from among them without paying their mana costs. So the purpose, this isn't, there is actually no purpose to playing this card except to get it like exiled, right? When Primeval Spawn leaves the battlefield, which includes, hold on, can it leave the battlefield? When Primeval Spawn would enter the battlefield, if Primeval Spawn would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast or no mana was spent to cast it, exile instead. Oh, so we can't even cheat it in play because it gets exiled before it even hits the battlefield. Good God, this card is bad all around. I thought the idea at least would be, okay, if you cheat it in play, you can exile the top 10 cards of your library and get that or something. You can cheat Primeval Spawn with cost modifiers such as Tanuk that allow you to cast it for 2 and an R. That's the best you can get, I guess. You gotta cast it for something. Or maybe Omniscience. Omniscience will also do it. Pretty sure you could cheat this and play with Omniscience if there's a Trinisphere. Oh, I see. Because it needs to have some... Okay, you need... Or if no mana was spent to cast it. Okay, so Omniscience plus Trinisphere equals 3 mana Primeval Spawn. We did it. We broke Primeval Spawn. And to be honest, we haven't even won the game yet. We still have to look at the top 10 cards of our library. Aurora with Fusion Elemental. Actually, we still need to kill this thing. I forgot. Wow, that... Okay, before we move on. Okay, so we went through all that work. Omniscience, Trinisphere. We've got Primeval Spawn in play. We still need to get this thing to leave the battlefield. I guess we need to have a sack outlet. It's just so hard to get this ability off. It's just borderline impossible. Fusion Elemental is a Wooburg 8/8, and that's it. That's it. You got an 8/8. Just crappier card than, what's it called? Rotting Regisaur, in my opinion. All these big chunky vanilla creatures all competing with Rotting Regisaur. And I know Rotting Regisaur is not exactly a vanilla creature, but it's basically a lot of power for very little mana. We got Jeff with Princess. There's a princess in this game? Is she in another castle? Princess Luke Lucrezia, who spends 6 mana for a single mana dork. Ah, but it's not just any mana. It's blue mana. This is a 6 mana 5/4, and you can tap for blue. Look, there's a lot of cards on curve that we need to hit. You know, this card can help cast all these other stupidly large cards like our Primeval Spawn. We use mana dorks to ramp into bigger mana dorks, and all that mana does add up. And I'll tell you where you can get that mana. You can get it from the source, FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite place to get my Magic the Gathering cards. Not to mention Secrets of Strixhaven. They're going to have mana dorks. You better believe it, amongst many other things. The secret, they're bringing back Ancestral Recall for some reason. Pre-order your cards at FusionGamingOnline.com. I'll tell you why. Because you can get 5% off all your purchases, and it supports the channel. I like it when you support the channel. You also like it when you support the channel. Use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off at FusionGamingOnline.com. And back to our regularly scheduled program. Next up, we got Phil Goad with Vectus Dominator. Vectus Dominator is a... it's an artifact for 3 mana. It's a 0/2 human wizard. Tap target creature unless its controller pays 2 life. This basically does nothing. Literally does nothing. It's 3 mana tap and mildly inconvenience your opponent. Ykill says likes the channel. Thank you so much, Ykill. I really appreciate it. Everybody who shows up here, I'm sure, also loves the channel. Okay, we got this thing is really bad. Tap target creature unless its controller pays 2 life. Well, okay, I guess they're just gonna pay the 2 life, or they'll just let their creature get tapped because they don't care. Corona the False God. I thought a lot of people like Corona. Corona False God can kill you. Corona, oops, just False God. How do we spell that? Oh, it's Corona. Corona False God, a Wooburg and 1 generic for a 5/5 hasty legend. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player untaps Corona False God and gains control of it. Whenever Corona attacks, creatures of the type of your choice get +3/+3 until end of turn. I guess it can backfire on you, can it? We got another super chat from Little MX Doom. No one wants to hear it, but what is it? Thraxamundar? I don't know. I don't know who this guy is. I wouldn't feel embarrassed to be told that my Thraxamundar sucks. This is a 7 mana 6/6 zombie assassin with haste. Whenever Thraxamundar attacks, defending player sacks a creature. Fine. Whenever a player sacks a creature, you may put a +1/+1 counter on the Thraxamundar. Ah, I get it. So if your opponent has a lot of creatures, or if everyone... There's going to be a point where, like, everybody has a lot of creatures at the table. It's, you're not going to make them sacrifice their good creatures. This their bad creatures. It doesn't have trample. It has haste, which is fine. But it's a lot of mana for its effect, and you can just chump block the damn thing if you really need to. Jeff says, they're bringing back Ancestral Recall through the Emeritus of Ideation. I expect that card to be expensive right away. Well, you know what? I don't know. Like, we'll talk about it probably tomorrow. We'll look at some Strixhaven spoilers, but, like, it's like just 6 mana for 3, like, ETB draw 3 cards, which I think is probably fine. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay, next we have Anna with Firestorm Hellkite. We have a 6 mana 6/6 dragon. Flying trample and cumulative upkeep of 2 mana. Oh god. So you know, one good thing though is if this is a 20 life game is that you maybe you can't pay it. I'm just trying to figure out, can you pay this thing enough to kill your opponent? So you're at 6 mana. As long as you keep making your land drops, you can. So on the first turn that you attack for 6, you have to pay 2. Then you pay 4 and deal 12. Then you pay 6 and deal 18. And if you've been making your land drops, then you can pay it 1 more time and kill your opponent. So it is possible. Gillam with Rakeclaw Gargantuan. Rakeclaw Gargantuan. We got a 5 mana 5/3 beast. Pay 1, target creature with power 5 or greater gains first strike until end of turn. That's great. That's going to be really useful. I really need my giant creatures to have first strike. They'll probably obliterate my opponent anyway. Marcio, does Sphinx of the Guild Pack count? Probably. Sphinx of the Guild Pact. Oh, okay. Well, you know, I'm a little annoyed that I started the show off with this because it technically wasn't multicolored, but we already did this one, and I am virtually counting this. Would have been better as, like, you know, card 5 of the show or somewhere later down the line. Corbinek, Boris, Devil Boom. You know, just a comment on this card. Where is this? Just a comment on the Sphinx. This card's so bad as a multicolored card, it's barely a multicolored card. It doesn't even have multicolor in its casting cost. Okay, what do we have? Boris Devil Boon. Boris Devil Boon is a 5-mana 2/2 zombie wizard, and for 4 mana tap, put a 1/1 black and red demon creature token named Minion Demon onto the battlefield. So we've spent 5 mana for a 2/2 that puts 1/1s in play. Unbelievable. I don't know how many token generators there were back then. This is a reserve list card. Generating tokens back then, what, for free? Well, not for free. Unlimited, based on how many turns are in play. I guess it was considered broken at the time. Next we got Deadheading with the Lord of Tressorhorn. It was just a matter of time. The Lord of Tressorhorn is a 4-mana 10/4, and when it comes into play, you gotta lose 2 life, sack 2 creatures, and an opponent gets to draw 2 cards. Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, opponent. Compliments of me. Give the gift of giving. Give the gift of the Lord of Tressorhorn. Corey Nalder with Inane as one. This monstrosity. This is a 12-mana 8/8 spirit. When a name as one comes into play, if you played it from your hand, you may search your library for a spirit card, put it into play, then shuffle your library. When a name as one is put into a graveyard from play, you may remove it from the game, and if you do, return target spirit card from your graveyard to play. It is, you know, it's not... If you ignore the casting cost, it's not that bad. I mean, it's got an ETB trigger and a death trigger. But the problem is, the casting cost. It's a lot of mana. Not only that, it's like a Golgari spirit. Like, most of the spirits, I think, are in white and in blue, which doesn't make this a very good spirit. Okay, we have David Howler with Darksteel Hydra. Did I press enter here? Oh, there we go. Oh, it's an arena card. So for 3 mana X, are there any bad arena cards? Okay, 3 mana X. It's star, indestructible. Enters the battlefield with X oil counters on it. Its power and toughness are each equal to twice the number of oil counters on it. When Darksteel Hydra enters the battlefield, conjure a card named Darksteel Ignite and a card named Darksteel Plate into your hand. So what do these cards do? Darksteel... Okay, Ignite I think sucks. Yeah, that's garbage. And then Darksteel Plate. What does Darksteel Plate do? That's not too bad. 3 mana indestructible. Equipped creature has indestructible and equip 2, but it's very mana intensive. This Darksteel Hydra was just roaming around the thrift store and just like bought whatever was on sale. Next we got Felicia with Johan. Oh my god, it's Darth Maul! It's literally Darth Maul from Star Wars. When did this thing come out? 1995. Who ripped who off? Where is Darth Maul from? Hold on. Star Wars Phantom Menace release date. I thought it was close to the year 2000. May 19th, 1999. Wow, George Lucas. Been ripping off Mark Tedden, apparently. Star Wars 1996. Was it? Well, according to Google, it came out May 19, 1999 in the United States and Canada. The first one, that is. So, well, I think I mean, I think this is just text. Does anyone know who Darth Maul is? I have to get a picture of this guy. Where's Darth Maul? And you tell me that George Lucas did not rip this guy off. Here's a great picture. Or a good enough picture. Here it is. There's Darth Maul. And it basically fits this picture perfectly. So long as Johan does not attack and is untapped. Attacking does not cause creatures you control to tap. That's all it is. As long as Johan does not attack and is untapped, everything else has vigilance, weirdly enough. Maul has shorter horns. Oh yeah. Well, are there horns here? Or there are horns. I wasn't even looking at the horns. This is a clear rip-off. Mark Tedden. I think we can make a lot of money here. I think we could make a lot of money from Lucasfilm. I don't know who would be up to blame at this point. I guess you're suing Disney. Big paycheck to be had, in my opinion. Or who knows? Maybe Mark Tedden worked on the art team of the movie. Darth Maul is a sad story. His book says a lot about what he went through. What's sad about Darth Maul is they killed him off in the first movie, and he was such a cool-looking villain. It's too bad. Okay, next up. Maul wishes he could be as menacing as this guy. I don't know if this guy has the Force. I saw Darth Maul in front of Macy's as a kid with the actual actor. Darth Maul is the ultimate assassin. And yet we saw him kill like almost one person. Didn't really see his power, really. Okay, back to the show. Rakdos Augur Mage. I was a little thrown off. I mean, the guy is it's Darth Maul. Okay, Rakdos Augur Mage is a 3-mana, 3/2 human wizard with first strike. Tap, reveal your hand, and discard a card of target opponent's choice. Then that player reveals his or her hand and discards a card of your choice. Plays the ability at any time you could cast play a sorcery. We're both gonna reveal our hands. Okay, I reveal mine. You reveal yours. This is a little weird. It's a show me. I'll show yours. You show me mine. We have a lot of people here. Dathomarians can live without their torso in Star Wars. Their urinary tract is in their back. That's disgusting. The worst This was an invitational card? Oh no. What a waste. Is it? I guess this is the worst invitational card. Why the first strike? Well, you never know when you need it. Well, you can block things, you know? You could block something and then tap and use its ability. Oh no, it's at a sorcery. Yeah, you're right. This is terrible. You'll never be able to block and activate it. Yeah, this actually is the worst. Okay, next. Rakdos Augur Mage was supposed to remain a mono black card, but Aaron shoehorned it out of the door. And then into history as one of the worst cards of all time. Indiana Jones, Warping Worm. Warping around here. Warping Worm is a 4-mana. Oh, we did this one. Sorry about that. Feldegriff from Leon Corgi. You know, I'm not a fan of the Feldegriff. I mean, it's a little janky. But I think there's some people who love this card. It's a 4-mana 4/4 Feldegriff. And, oh yeah, the creature is Feldegriff. Okay, for green, Feldegriff gains trample until end of turn. Target opponent puts a 1/1 green hippo creature token into play. And for a white, Feldegriff gains flying until end of turn. Target opponent gains 2 life. And for a blue, Feldegriff, return Feldegriff to its owner's hand. Target opponent draws a card. It's a group hug card. We're group hugging around here. We have another super chat coming from Little MX Doom. Gambi. Faithful Healer. Is it Gambi? There is no such thing called a Gambi. Oh, I'll look up Faithful Healer. Faithful Healer. It's Nyambi, Faithful Healer. So 3 mana, 2/2. When Nyambi, Faithful Healer, enters the battlefield, you may search your library and graveyard, for a card named Teferi Timebender. Reveal it and put it into your hand. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. So basically, this card doesn't really do anything. It's only it's a tutor for Teferi Timebender. Which, how good is this card? Not good. Oh, this is one of those 6 mana. This is one of those cards that were in like those pre-cons. Wasn't it those pre-constructed decks? 6 mana, 5 loyalty, +2, untap up to 1 target artifact or creature. -3, you gain 2 life and draw 2 cards. So it's like we're basically spending 6 mana for 2 cards. -9, take an extra turn after this one. Only 1 turn? Come on, Teferi, we could do a little bit better than that. You have done better than that. She gets her daddy out of the deck. Here's daddy, everyone. But I'll tell you, the daddy of all rental services is Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards on Magic Online. When you rent decks, you can play any format you want. You can try something new. You can try something old. You can try new decks and old decks. In fact, I've been playing a lot of pre-modern lately, and it is possible to play new formats, fresh formats, just, you know, out of nowhere, maybe for a month before you go back to your main format when you're renting with Mana Traders. You can support the channel by using a coupon code Nikachu_BH2 for 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription. Playing on Magic Online. Play all your favorite paper formats. Or all your hated ones. I don't know. A lot of paper formats, though, on Magic Online. Pauper, Standard, Vintage. Okay, next up, we got Rin with Dreadslag. Dreadslag is a 5 mana 9/9 trampler. Dreadslag gets -4/-4 for each card in your hand. Each card in my hand is terrible. It's dead if I have 3 cards in my hand. In fact, someone could activate this Feldegriff. Where is it? Someone could activate the Feldegriff, the blue ability, 3 times. And force me to draw a bunch of cards, which will then kill my Dreadslag. A lot of ways of losing this thing. Someone could just play Wheel of Fortune and accidentally kill my Dreadslag. I guess it was. I guess it was supposed to be for the Hellbent mechanic. Yeah, remember the context, the Hellbent payoff. Hellbent, which was a mechanic of the time. We should bring Hellbent back. We got Conman AU, Segmented Worm. A lot of worms on today's show. It's a 5 mana 5/5. Now, whenever Segmented Worm is the target of a spell or ability, put a -1/-1 counter on it. Well, if it doesn't, so basically 1 lightning bolt. 1 lightning bolt basically deals 4 damage to this particular card. Mappius with the Dementia Sliver. Really? It has dementia? That's not a good sliver to have on your team. It's a 5 mana 3. It's like, I can only imagine if one sliver is sick, it'll make all the slivers sick at the same time. All slivers have tap and name a card. Target opponent reveals a card at random from their hand. If it's the name card that player discards, it plays ability only during your turn. That is interesting. If this, oh yeah, so it can't be at instant speed. But like if your opponent is really low on cards, you'll very likely wipe out the rest of the cards in their hand. Ykill says more players should play with no cards in hand. Bring back Hellbent. We're gonna bring back Hellbent. Christopher B with Roxy, Publicist to the stars. Even the fans of this mechanic don't like this one. It's a 4 mana star for human employee. Look, she just works there. She doesn't own the place. Flying, Roxy Publicist to the stars power is equal to the number of permanents you control with an art sticker. Oh god. Not the art sticker. Plus the number of cards in your graveyard with an art sticker. The stickers follow into the graveyard? When Roxy enters the battlefield, distribute up to 2 art stickers among 1 or 2 non-land perms you own. This is terrible. Legal and Commander. You can still play these stupid cards there. Man. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get up to a commander player and someone brings their giant sticker sheet out. I'm like, oh, I don't know how these cards work. I just got to trust the process. I bet you could do a lot of cheating with stickers. First thing you just have to ask everybody, do you know how stickers work? Do you know how stickers work? Do you know how stickers work? Oh, you don't? Oh, well, looks like stickers can do anything and everything. Okay, next up, we got Indiana Jones with Ramses. The Overdark. Ah. The very, very badass image. 6 mana for a 4/3. Tap, destroy target enchanted creature. It will not kill anything. I think the closest you're going to get. Okay, this is the closest you can get. Somebody is playing, like, Bogles, right? Okay, so someone's playing Bogles. They shoot up a big Bogle. Then you use that, there's that land. Is it Awakening Zone? There's a land that, I think it's Awakening Zone. Awakening something zone. No, Awakening Zone's a wrong card. I got the wrong card. Wait, no, somebody knows about it. So it's that land that removes hexproof. Because the only deck that's going to put a bunch of auras onto a creature is some sort of hexproof deck. So you remove the hexproof and then you destroy the creature with all the enchantments on it. That's the closest you're going to do. There's so many terrible legends in Legends. Yeah, they were legendary for being legendarily bad. Yeah, maybe it's Lighthouse something. Arcane Lighthouse? Yeah, this was the card. Tap for a colorless and for 1 generic tap until end of turn. Creatures your opponents control lose hexproof and shrouds. So you combine this card with the Ramses Overdark, you got a little something, but not a lot. Legends was an experimental set. Turns out that was the greatest experiment of all time. They didn't even know it at the time. But legendary creatures would, in fact, completely change this game. The Gruul Guildmage. By Wykill. Gruul Guildmage, a 2 mana 2/2 human shaman. And for 4 mana, sacrifice a land. Gruul Guildmage deals 2 damage to target player or planeswalker. You know, a long time ago, that would have been a pretty good ability. That would have been I think every red deck would have played that like 25 years ago. For 4 mana, target creature just gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Again, I think this card is probably like really good in like the 1990s. Just like today, it's garbage. Sacking your land to deal 2 damage to a creature or player. That's inevitability, people. That's inevitability. Little MX Doom. I forgot Miles. Oh, did they did Miles dirty? Or sorry, Tails. I don't call Tails Miles. Okay, we have a 3 mana 3/1 Fox Artificer. I can't remember. Was he an inventor? I knew he flew. I guess he was. I guess he was a bit of an inventor. So he was like he was the Donatello of Sonic. Flash flying. Whenever a vehicle you control enters, draw a card if it has flying. Otherwise, put a flying counter on it. Well, it was a complete flavor win, I think. He was a tinkerer. Yeah, I don't know if he really actually invented anything. But whatever. He was a Donatello sort of thing. Okay, Prince of Winners with Victus. Look, good question. Hold on, before we move on. Like, what would we want Tails to do? Frankly, all he did was just fly around. Do we just give him flash and flying and then that's it? I don't know what other ability he would have. Tails' inventions seem to just involve showing Chaos Emeralds in existing items. There you go. Look, I took this car and I put a Chaos Emerald in it. Look how powerful it is now. It's so powerful. Yes, Tails was an inventor. All right, the tail stands are coming out. I mean, him being useless is on brand. Look, he flies Sonic, okay? He can... Oh, you know what he could have done? He could be like, when Miles Tails Prower attacks, like, target creature gains flying until end of turn. That would have made a lot of sense. Because he like picked up Sonic in like the cartoons and stuff like that. Even in the plane. It was actually a bit weird why he flies a plane when he can fly by himself. Okay, Prince of Winners with Tails to some extent is a flavor fail. It's like a bird getting into an actual airplane and flying away. Hold on, which one is this? The Asmadi. Looks like a weird dragonfish. This is 8 mana for a 7/7 with flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Vevictus Asmadi, unless you pay 3 mana. Okay. It's got rent. And for a black, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn. For a red, these are all the same ability. This totally looks like an AI-generated Magic the Gathering card. There is no way they would print a card like this today, where they give you 3 separate abilities for each color, and it's all the same damn thing. This looks AI-generated. I would accuse somebody, if someone put this thing in front of me and another AI-generated card that looked reasonable, and told me one of these are AI-generated, I would pick this one out. Actually, one of the better dragons from Legends. Yeah, it's got some sort of fire breathing. I sadly have this dragon. Hey, you know what? If it came from way back in the day, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong from still owning cards from way back in the day. I think the only one from the OG Elder Dragons that's any good is Bolus. This one's fine. Like, this one will get people dead. This is probably actually decent in actual Commander, because you'll probably kill someone in 2 shots with this card. Okay, next up. Oh, we have Marcio with the super chat. Patrick Starr. This is why is he Rakdos? He's an underwater sea creature. That doesn't make any sense. 6/5, I don't get it. I also don't get it. Nothing about this card makes any sense. Or is it implying that he's dead? Because he just got stabbed in the head with a nail. Is this a magic card? No, this is Patrick. That's a good way to describe it. Next we've got... Who has no card yet? Beefy Taco with Chromium. The best of the Elder Dragons. You think this is the best one? Okay, this is also 8 mana for a 7/7 flying and Rampage 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Chromium unless you pay 2. What is Rampage? I don't remember what Rampage does. Whenever this creature becomes blocked, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn for each creature blocking it beyond the first. Honestly, I don't think it's that. I think the other one's better. Of the original ones, I think this can like kill you in a few turns. I think this ability is relevant. I don't think Rampaging is relevant at all. If I chump block it, okay, big deal. It's not like it gets trample. Patrick's not even human. Hold on. Did it say it was human? A human warrior. Well, he's sort of human looking. Guess he adapted to the water. Menose with Petra Hydrox. Petra Hydrox is a 4 mana 3/3. It's weird. When Petra Hydrox becomes the target of a spell or ability, return Petra Hydrox to its owner's hand. Well, it's going to protect itself. It will never die. That's its motto. I'll never die. It's as terrified and as scared as Norin the Wary. In fact, it probably comes from the same family. Remember, kids, when in doubt, you run the hell you get out of there. You hear a gunshot, you run like 10 miles away. Fan Factor. Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn DeCourcy. Not a bad ability, but the flavor is weird. She's in bed. How does that make you discard a card? So, well, we gotta talk about 4 bad cards today. 4 mana, 3/5. Tap. Target player discards a card at random. Activate this ability only during your turn. So it's just random discard. You get a random. Well, I don't know the flavor either. I guess it's a Shakespeare thing. Oh no, it's not. Urborg became the final resting place of many swordsmen of renown. Their steel outmatched by the wiles of Gwendolyn. I don't know the lore. Midawishan says, I used to see things that look like Patrick Starr, That others claimed were human when I lived in Hawaii. Okay. Voltland, the great goat napper. What are they doing? They're stealing the goats? Oh no, hold on. We want the great goat nap. There's a goat napper and then there's the great goat napper. Okay, it is somebody stealing a goat. So 4 mana, 3/4 Goblin Rogue, which is pretty good so far. Spells you cast have affinity for goats. Tap target non-goat creature perpetually becomes a goat in addition to its other types. Then conjure a card named Goat Nap into your hand. Activate only as a sorcery. Target non-goat creature becomes a goat? And conjure a card named Goat Nap into... I don't know who the hell Goat Nap is. Oh, hon. Then there's Goat Nap. No, I don't know who Goat Nap. So is there another card called Goat? There is a card called Goat Nap. It's a 3-mana sorcery. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. I see. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. And if the creature is a goat, gets +3/+0. This is the most jank arena card of all time. If this card actually sees play, I don't know what. This seems like the type of card that they only invented because it was in the cartoon. It's like they printed it into existence for flavor. Nondescript cat with Ghosta Dirk is a 7-mana 4/4 first striker, and creatures with Island Walk may be blocked as if they did not have this ability. What is the story with Legends? Is it like a bunch of legendary humans or legendary people up against dragons? It's the only thing that can make sense in my mind. Goat Nap is a pun on kidnap because baby goat is a kid. The Goat Napper. Archangel Anu with the super chat. Gabriel Angelfire. Useless ability for its mana. Okay, it's a 7 mana 4/4. It is an angel though. Behold the angel. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose Flying, First Strike, Trample, or Rampage 3. Gabriel Angel gains that ability until your next upkeep. Okay. Unfortunately, cannot grant it to somebody else. That'd probably be better somewhere else. Okay, pretty sure giants in a lot of stories liked to steal goats from the farmers. Stealing goats from your neighbors. A tale as old as time. David Haller says, I'm pretty sure it was based off of one of the developers' D&D sessions. Probably. Probably the inspiration. Okay, Teutonic Nightmare says, the angel Gabriel appeared onto them and said, please reprint me with some better abilities and / mana cost. Yeah, please. Okay, we have Lesthian with Tevel. The Arbiter of Virtue. This is a sort of a new card. It's throwing big shade at this card. 5 mana for a 6/6 flying lifelink. Spells you cast have delve. Whenever you cast a spell, you lose life equal to its mana value. Ooh! This looks so good up to that point. Like, it's still okay because you do have lifelink, and this is a very large creature. But I can see the downside of, like, okay, all the delve cards are expensive, so I am paying huge chunks of life, ginormous chunks of life in order to cast them. There aren't any cheap delve. There's not like a 2-mana delve card. I don't know what the cheapest delve card is out there, but it ain't like 2 or 3 mana. Yeah, crazy risk reward. Look, you got to risk it for the biscuit. Old boy with Wind Reaver. Wind Reaver is a 5-mana 1/3 elemental flying for a white. When Wind Reaver gains vigilance until end of turn. For a white, it gets +0/+1 until end of turn. That's great. I really need this card's toughness to be higher. For a blue, we switch its power and toughness until end turn, and for a blue, return Wind Reaver to its owner's hand. This is almost like Morphling, except it doesn't start off with any power at all. I have to pay at least a blue to get in a decent chunk of damage. Feels like it's got Morphling vibes to me. Except again, I gotta bounce the stupid thing back to my hand. Morphling but bad. Hey, look! Protection from sweepers. Let's see Morphling do that, huh? Morphling can dodge a lot of bullets, but apparently not the wrath of God. This thing can defy God. Apparently. This is not... Okay, maybe it is the worst Morphling. I haven't looked at all the Morphlings. Do they have a morphling for like each guild? I didn't know they had any morphlings for guilds. I knew there was like a morphling for each monocolor. So you can make a bunch of 2 to 3 cost, 1 cost, and pay 2 to 3 life, huh? Oh, you're talking about the delve card. I don't know if that works. When all your spells have delve, you suddenly have cheap delve cards. Okay. Oh, but you give you give everything delve. Hold on, does that last card give everything delve? Oh yeah, spells you cast have delve. Interesting. This card might be too good for the show. It's possibly too good for the show. I'll let the audience decide. Tectonic Nightmare, Trans Guild Courier. Congratulations, you exist. That's basically to everybody. Congratulations, everybody. We exist. Let's be proud that we all exist. 4 mana for a 3/3 golem. Trans Guild Courier is all colors. Okay. Well, we counted the first card, so we're going to count this one. It's basically... Oh, I see. It's a 4 mana Wooburg. Because it's impossible... Well, no, it's not impossible to get Wooburg. So you could have a 3 mana card with, like, hybrid mana to make it Wooburg. I guess that's the cheapest you could make it. We got King Karatsu with Arcades Sabbath. Come on, Arcades. This is 8 mana for a 7/7 Elder Dragon. Is it one of the OGs? It is one of the OGs. Let's look at the ancient scripture. Oh my god. He's ugly as hell. It's like a furless cat or something. Sorry. No offense to the furless cat owners out there. Okay, flying. For a white, +0/+1 until end of turn. Your untapped creatures gain +0/+2. Attacking creatures do not get this bonus. And also pay 3 mana during your upkeep or Arcades Sabbath is buried. So what did I guess the Elder Dragons were not on the reserve list, which is funny because the Elder Dragons look infinitely more interesting than all the other stupid legends in Legends. And those were on the reserve list. Why Kid says, do not leave me to make decisions. This is your show. Thank you for hosting. You're welcome. Was Arcades off? I have no idea. Sorry. I should have said they for Arcades Sabbath. There's some lore here. The beginning. Arcades Sabbath gets +0/+1 until end of turn. No, I can't. I don't know. Sorry about that. Arcades Sabbath. Okay, at the next, more like Arcades Cabinet. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with this. Is there a cabinet? Is there a cabinet in any of these arts? There are none. They're not on the reserve list. They were reprinted in Chronicles. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, but there are the other legends are on the reserve list. Like, what's his face? I don't know. Like the human, like a lot of the other human legends were on the reserve list, but they didn't put the dragons on the reserve list. But the other cards suck. The other cards are really bad, and the dragons were like they were okay. Like, I'm not gonna play this card either, but like, you know, they were better than the other cards. Sadly, I also have that dragon, and worse, it was a reprint. Many were conceptually interesting. Most had nothing to express that. I suppose so. Arcades Cabinet. Oh, the old style video game. That's right. The cabinet arcade games. Classic. Whatever that wasn't reprinted in Chronicles ended up on the reserve list. Oh, interesting. Okay, next up we've got... okay, do we have anyone who has no card yet? Or did I get to everybody? Has everyone been attended to? Old Magic, good luck getting any card above 6 toughness without some crippling downside. Yeah, basically. Impossible. Alex Bruce with Stalking Assassin. Stalking Assassin looks like a zombie to me. It's a human assassin, though. 3 mana for a 1/1. For 4 mana, tap target creature. And for 4 mana, destroy target tap creature. But there's a problem, Stalking Assassin. You can't do both at once. You cannot. Oh, I guess you sort of can. End of turn, tap the creature, and then on my turn, destroy the creature. It's just strictly worse Royal Assassin. Or I guess, no, it's bad. Like, Royal Assassin, you just had to tap it. You didn't have to sink any more mana into the damn thing. I'm spending 8 mana to kill a creature. Probably was a great limited card at the time. How is bro sneaking around in a cloak that big? I guess the idea that he look harmless. I mean, he probably looks pretty harmless if he's not like brandishing his knife everywhere. You know what I mean? So this is the guy who flunked out of assassin school and couldn't be a royal one. Yes, that's right. Was not part of the royal army. Okay, we got Rin, the beast, deathless prince. Deathless, huh? It's actual Satan. It's 4 mana for a 6/6 demon. When you cast the spell, gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap it. It gains menace and haste until end of turn. The beast enters the battlefield tapped with 6 stun counters on it. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to its owner, untap the beast and draw a card. I have nothing to say about this card except it's not particularly interesting. I mean, it comes in with 6 stun. That's a lot of stun counters. We're gonna be waiting to untap the damn thing. Whenever you cast a spell, gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap it. So when I cast this spell, so basically I'm just using it to steal something. Interesting design space. Next up, Indiana Jones with Pavel. What is this? Pavel Maliki. Ooh, it's old. 6 mana for a 5/3. It's a human, and for 2 mana, Pavel Maliki gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Basically, strictly worse fire breathing. It's chonky. It's chonky breathing. It's breathing hard. Breathing hard to get the same amount of oxygen in. Yeah, the worst Shivan Dragon, and costs 2 colors too. You would think that for 6 mana, we'd have just a strictly better ability. And it's legendary. You can have multiple Shivan Dragons on the battlefield. Shivan Dragon comes from a family of Shivan Dragons. His smoker's breath, since it's black-red, yeah. It's got some little black lung. A little bit of a black lung. No flying either. Wow, it doesn't even fly. This card's getting worse and worse when we compare it to Shivan Dragon. The team didn't want a power creep Shivan Dragon up to that point in time. They were considering power creep. How silly. Okay, Menacee with Illusory Demon. The Illusory Demon is a 3 mana 4/3 flyer. And when you play spell, sack it. What the hell? Losing my card instantaneously. This might be one of the worst cards. I basically have to pay 3 mana for a 4/3 and not do anything else for the rest of the game. I guess the idea is you could pair this with a deck with a lot of abilities. Like you're constantly playing like Otawara. I don't remember what the black activated land is. You could use the Sky Turtles ability. So maybe you pair this with a deck that's just playing, like all the cards mostly have abilities. We got Adam with Vampire Charmseeker. Oh, so this person's gonna Mog everyone, huh? This person's looks maxing to the extreme. Yeah, and it's an 8 mana, 3/4. It's an assist. Another player can pay up to 6 of this spell's cost. Why not? Flying. When Vampire Charmseeker enters the battlefield, return target instant sorcerer creature card from a graveyard to its owner's hand. From a graveyard. Doesn't have to be our own. It could be somebody else's. Imagine someone helps you pay for this thing because you said that you're going to help them get a card back from their graveyard and then you don't do it. You just straight up don't. Assist, so they are literally looking for donations on Twitch. That's right! They're looking for some assisting. We got Mercenary with Dauntless Escort. Dauntless Escort is a 3-mana 3/3. Sacrifice your Dauntless Escort. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. That's not bad. That's a little too good for this show. That's a very good ability. You target before anyone pays. Does it? No, you have to pay before it targets. It's a enter the battlefield ability. So it enters the battlefield, then you get to know what's going on. Next we got Dauntless Escort was good at one point, I think. This card has a lot of like it costs nothing to sack it, so it's pretty free to play alongside everything else that you're playing. If it costs like a lot of money to sacrifice it, I would probably have said no. I use that card to protect my creatures. Look at that. It offers protection. And for a fair price. Surefire Selves doesn't have a card yet. We have Ith. High Arcanist. Imagine my surprise when I saw that Ith from Maze of Ith was a commander. And imagine my disappointment when I realized he was really bad. Wow, they didn't make him a maze? Because it was the Maze of Ith. I thought Ith was like a land. I didn't know it was a person. So this is a 7-mana 3/5 human wizard. Vigilance. Tap untap target attacking creature. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to and dealt by that creature this turn. You can suspend it for 2 mana. You know, they designed it like back in Legends, where it's this gigantically expensive 7-mana card. Did they give it like an alternate art? No, they didn't really. I was hoping to see like the old gold border, because the design is actually so similar to the old cards, where it's just outrageously expensive, and the ability sort of sucks. Yeah, this is they're making in-game representations of characters from the books, or even just in-game representations of characters that they always mentioned in the past, but we never saw them. Like, it took forever to get a Yawgmoth, right? A Yawgmoth, a Mishra. It took forever to get, like... Anyway, a lot of old characters that you hear about. Urza. We got Urza in the last 6 years. I really wish he did something other than just be a super expensive Maze of It. Well, he's got Vigilance. He can attack and also defend at the same time. A little bit of one, a little bit of two. Prince of Winter says, have you done a show on the most risque cards in MTG, scantily clad angels and the like? Not yet. Only because, like, I'm pretty sure... I don't know how to word it in such a way that YouTube is going to bury it. Because when you... Like if I made a show called The Most Not Safe for Work MTG Cards, YouTube will just bury the crap out of that thing. Like, impressions get really subdued because they're not trying to promote that sort of content. So it's hard to make a show like that. My favorite risque card is Merfolk Sovereign. Look, no, not that one. Look at that. She's barely wearing anything. Okay, let's get one more card. Has anyone got the spiciest? Maybe. These MTG cards will make you a goon. Or I can't put it. You can't use the word kinkiest. No, that's not a good word. I don't know. Maybe the goon is probably the closest one. Maybe that would work. Because there are a bunch of, like, you know, risque type of cards, even by today's standards. Next. Okay, let's get... Okay, Okay, I'll get it by random. Okay, who's gonna get the card? We got Goon, you can do it. Okay, what's underneath? MTG Goon cards. The most sus cards in MTG. I don't think... Lewd. No, can't use that word lewd. Google knows everything. Okay, Merfolk Tunnel Guide. There's tons of terrible Merfolk. They made a bunch of... The Merfolk Tunnel Guide is a 2-mana 2/2 Merfolk Wizard. When Merfolk Tunnel Guide enters the battlefield, you get a 3-time boon with whenever one or more Merfolk enter the battlefield under your control, target Merfolk creature you control explores. Good God! I get a 3-time boon whenever one or more Merfolk enter the battlefield, target... I just only one explores. This is terrible. not gonna say it's the worst Merfolk card, but it might be one of the worst in that is multicolored. Well, everybody, thank you very much for joining me today. We saw a lot of the worst gold cards or multicolored creature cards in the game. Interestingly, we didn't see any of the hybrid mana cards like that. Those definitely qualified. If you want to be part of the show, be here 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time on Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and also on Tuesdays, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. For everyone watching live, we've got 2 more days, today and tomorrow, of live shows, both morning and evening. So hope to see you there. And then I'm just warning you, I'm going to be on vacation until the 24th, so there will be no streaming from the 8th to and then we come back on the 27th. We'll be back. It's gonna be a long wait, but we've been doubling the shows every day, so there's something to watch every single day. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. And of course, thanks everyone for being here today. People like Mercenary, Christopher B, Kano, David Howler, Mina Wishens. We got Jeff. We have Indiana Jones, David, Why Kill, Old Boy, Teutonic Nightmare, Menose. You ask for Gooner cards and you bring out the fetishes. You don't want to see what people are gooning to. Oh, yeah, that's true. We got King Karatsu and many more. So, yeah, we have 3 more shows until a big, long, giant break. So, as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing those coffees. And we're going to keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves. And I will see you at the next cup.